Tembisa residents met this afternoon after a second person lost their life during a service delivery protest. Ekurhuleni Metro Police have warned the public to avoid the area, saying the situation is volatile there. Our reporters Ahmed Kaji and Dumalo Mahlaudu live in that township. We take you to Ahmed. Good afternoon, good evening. Ahmed, the situation, we're still hearing of the warnings that it is one that is volatile. Talk to us about some of the latest developments on the ground as you and I speak.
Yes, Simpo, still very tense out here in Tembisa. Roads still continue to be closed at the entrance as this shutdown continues. This therefore means that no people can enter or exit without the permission of those who happen to be in this particular area. Just a few moments ago, around 45 minutes ago, we had an address by one of the community leaders, Mamukhosi, who had said that there was engagements between members from the Tshwane Forum who had met with the mayor. She said that she will then address the community on Friday. That was not met well by the community over here in Tembisa. What they had said now will be taking place is because there's no official leader of this particular shutdown, it's up for the community now to decide what the next step is. We're expecting a few of them to actually be engaging later on this evening around what we will be expecting in the coming hours and then heading into tomorrow as well. But one of the leaders, at least one of the community members who have been at the forefront of what we have seen over the last 12 to 18 hours is Mr. Pule Matsile. He joins me now. Pule, thank you very much for your time. I mean, we have seen the blocking of roads once again this evening. What exactly will we expect heading into the rest of tonight?
Well, according to what we heard, is the mayor is going to come on Friday, so there's no definite decision as to whether we continue or not. But as because we are a community now, they're intending some of them to stay here, so it's not really clear whether we're going to be continuing or not until Friday. But as it is as it stands, I mean, the memo came out on Friday. We're supposed to meet the mayor, but only the delegates came. She never came. Now she's postponing again, stating that she's going to come on Friday. So we don't have a trust in the mayor anymore. And as you can see here at the back here, this thing has been going the whole of June. This water here has been running like this. No services has been offered. And when she comes to saying that there's criminalities in every, obviously there'll be some few of them, but with us here it's only we're marching peacefully with no incidents that has happened on our side.
What's your reaction to her saying that she'll only come through on Friday? I mean, obviously there wasn't official word from her office. I mean, this came through from your secondary sources who was in engagements with her. What's the community's reaction then to her not coming on Friday, only coming through on Friday?
Well, according to me, she's not taking us seriously. Because as I said, the memo came out last week and she sent delegates last week Friday. She never came herself. Now she's postponing again. It's kind of like whatever grievances that we have, she doesn't have time for us. Yeah. So now the question is to her now on Friday when she comes back to us, is she going to give us proper answers or she's still going to postpone it? We're not playing politics. All we need is services and what is fair to us. There's no criminality happening on our side here. So we need answers and we need her to be responsible and to come and address us.
Right, as we just move along, as a vehicle tries to come through, we'll obviously just take a couple steps out the way so the vehicle can come through, Mr. Pule. But in terms of what some of the community members are saying here, what are some of your key grievances? I mean, there's been a number of ones that we have addressed today, but for those who are here today, what exactly is it that you would like in specific for the mayor to address?
The services, because as I said, I mean, when you're going there and to Rabasoto and you're going to pay there, every month, the bills are going up and you're never giving the proper explanations. Even when it comes to electricity, it's still a problem. And now when they say they want to assess as to who can afford, who cannot afford, we want to know on which criteria. Because Tembisa residents, most of them, we are paying rates, but they are sky high. And we never get a proper explanation as to how does it come about. We're getting the same answers as to saying, go and get a plumber. You do get a plumber, but the next month, it's still the same thing. If it's not the same, then it goes up. So we're sick and tired of that because the people who are there were supposed to give us answers. They don't give us answers. So we're sick and tired of not being respected and not even getting what we're paying for.
And then just perhaps speaking to the person who had two people who have lost their lives, how has the community reacted to that?
We're furious because, look, we are peaceful. We are protesting peacefully. Okay, we don't have anything in our hands here. So, and then the next thing for the media or for those people who are claiming that we are provoking, we've let a lot of policemen, even the ambulances, they can pass through here. We never disturbed anything. The only thing that we want is a mayor here. But those who passed away, I mean, they were part of us. Now, who's going to take responsibility for that?
But, I think it's also perhaps to bring one of the ladies from the community into the conversation. In terms of some of your grievances, apart from the community that we have seen, what has your experience been like over the last day or so with police coming through, the violence that we have seen and the destruction of property?
It's so sad to see police shooting us. Meanwhile, we have nothing on our hands. We are fighting for our own rights, because if the rates were not high, we as tenants, we are also paying too much. For the past, I think 3 to 4 days, our water was dirty. We couldn't drink the water. And it's so sad that the mayor, the person that we chose to stand for us, can't come to us today. And she said last week she will come, last week Friday. But now again she's saying she will come Friday. How sure are we she will come to us? It's so sad when we vote for them, they come to us and they claim that they will deliver the service. But now we are trying to say, okay guys, this is the situation that we are facing, but they can't come to us. They are calling us criminals that doesn't have anything in their hands. Even the police, they will tell her that the view community, we were so peaceful. We are not vandalizing anything, but we are saying, can the rate go down? And when she say people in view, they are affording, were we gonna fight if we were affording? Because a lot of people here, they are unemployed. We are staying with the crannies that they cannot afford, that they only getting 2,000. That they cannot afford to pay the rates of this place. And this is so expensive. If you can go to the other side of Ekurhuleni, they are not paying as we are paying. They enjoy having their heaters. We can't even light a heater, even for 10 minutes.
Sorry to interrupt. How much can you then afford per month? How much are you being charged? Can you maybe just take us through some of those figures exactly?
You know, 100, not even 2.5 days. It's only 1 day. 100 rand electricity. And when you look at everything is going up. The petrol is going up. The cooking oil, we can't even afford to buy 2 liters of cooking oil because it's 100 rand. And now the taxes are going up. Everything is going up. And she is claiming that we are affording.
Exactly.
Because she can afford, so she think, or she just conclude that even those people, because they are staying in Hospital View, they are staying next to the hospital, and they said we are affording. If we were affording, we're not gonna stand here.
Thank you very much for your time. So, Umpo, as you can see that many of the community members here are accusing the Mayor, Tanya Campbell, of being disconnected from reality in terms of the cost of living. We have seen food parcels and the price of food commodities increasing significantly since the start of the year, and more importantly so from February and March, when the Ukraine crisis had started up. And it seems that, the effects of that seem to be playing down, and obviously this also means that service delivery has been low. So these contribution of factors when it comes to load shedding, the increase of commodity prices, and perhaps load shedding as well. These are just a number of circumstances and a number of factors which is resulting in the unrest and the shutdown which we have seen in Tembisa, which has unfortunately seen the loss of 2 people's lives and obviously the destruction of property.
Very well, Ahmed Kaji, let's leave it there for now. As we come out of that conversation, we get more from the Ekurhuleni Community Safety MMC, Lethlogonolo Moseki. A very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. Community members in Tembisa are up in arms. They're saying and accusing the Mayor, Tanya Campbell, of being out of touch with reality. They're saying that they simply cannot afford the cost of living, speaking to the issue of power, saying that they pay 100 Rand a day, which is something they can't afford. What is your reaction?
Yeah, good evening, and good evening to your viewers back at home. Indeed, we engaged with the community leaders of Tembisa this afternoon. In fact, we just emerged from that meeting. They have rightfully raised those concerns, and we've been very clear to them that the mayor will actually be coming back on Friday to that community to respond to a whole lot of those issues that they have raised. However, from community safety side, we have been on record and we have engaged and agreed with them that they will go back to the streets of Tembisa and make sure that they diffuse the situation, because no amount of frustrations can justify issues that we have seen happening on the ground at Tembisa this afternoon, so much so that we ended up having to have some of the life lost because of people protesting. We are saying that people, in as much as they do have the responsibility and the rights to protest, that they must do that with utmost responsibility and respect to the law, to the rule of law.
So the residents have raised the issue of Mayor Tanya Campbell failing to meet with them on Friday. They say they feel that she may have disrespected them by not abiding to that meeting. We know that there were some conversations today. What sort of reaction came from the mayor around that, failing to meet them on Friday as suggested?
Look, I think there's one thing that people forget. The executive mayor leads an executive. So these people wrote memorandums. They submitted memorandums to the executive mayor about a week ago. They tabled their demands, and the mayor obviously would go through all of those demands and therefore then allocate responsible MMCs to respond to those issues. She didn't literally needed to be there personally. They indicated on the venue on the day that they would wanted her to have been there, but she does have a team that she sends out to respond to these issues, and it happened in this case this past Friday, where they indicated that they wanted her to have been there. But look, what we have committed is that we will bring her back to the ground, which is what we have done today. But it wouldn't have changed anything, because the responses that they needed are the same responses that she provided to them today, and she will continue to do that on Friday. But that would have been best presented by responsible MMCs for those particular affected portfolios.
The problems that are being raised by disgruntled residents are problems that they've been trying to ventilate from as far back as April. I mean, through the Tembisa Community Forum, they say that they organized and led a march and hoping that their complaints would be acknowledged and addressed at the time, which now led to this very tragic incident. Do you think that perhaps this matter, this tension, this chaos could have been avoided?
Well, we do agree. Had the mayor made a commitment that she will come there herself, but the reality is that she didn't make that commitment. She acknowledged the demands, she acknowledged what was put before her, and she committed to respond. And indeed, she did respond by sending the responsible MMCs to go and talk to those issues. But unfortunately, The communities didn't want it that way. They wanted it their way, which is why today we ensured that she came to Tembisa and engaged them personally. So I would want to agree that that would have been avoided, but equally also I'm still of a view that what happened today could have been avoided had our residents and communities acted in a responsible manner. Surely this whole thing wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, we can't dismiss that part at all, and perhaps they felt that their demands were being neglected and not being heard, falling on deaf ears. The other issue, as you and I speak, Tembisa is still in a very volatile situation. As the MMC for Community Safety, what is your reaction to that and ensuring that the residents of Tembisa are safe?
Well, we have committed that we will be on the ground. We have been on the ground since 3 a.m. this morning. We've got police officers. SAPs went on to join us later in the day, and we will continue to make sure that there's police presence throughout Tembisa. We just have got a new team that joined in terms of a new shift. And it is our responsibility to ensure safety and security of the residents of Tembisa. Hence why we're calling upon them to exercise their rights, but doing so with the utmost responsibility and respect to the rule of law. We will make sure that overall our residents remain safe whilst we waiting for them to have their issues tabled before the mayor and responding, and her responding to them this coming Friday. We'll make sure that that particular area of Tembisa is protected entirely. The residents are protected, and people have got the right of movement, which is one thing that they've been denied ever since this morning.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now. And thank you for your time. MMC for Community Safety, Lethlogonolo Moseki, speaking to us there about the volatility in Tembisa.